How y'all feeling, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a while. How y'all been?
I'm feeling good. Trying to get to the holidays.
I felt more victorious.
You feel what?
I felt more victorious.
You felt more victorious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Usually this time of the year we're celebrating and planning parades and things of that nature.
yeah. Usually,
Apparently Los Angeles is trying to steal some of our shine, but it's okay.
you know,
Okay.
you know,
We can have it.
I felt honestly, it felt good. I'm like mad diabolical. I'm like my thinking when it came to like the Lakers winning and the Dodgers winning. I'm thinking like, yo, so we're in a rivalry with them. Fuck LA, beat LA, whatever. And they both win championships and they haven't in a minute,
Yeah.
right? And they can't even celebrate.
Yeah.
No fucking parades. No LeBron with his shirt off going down Madison Avenue. No Mookie Betts. Shout out to Mookie, but fuck the Dodgers. No Mookie Betts going, you know what I mean? No joint parades or some shit. Their fans had to let off fireworks the first night and then they couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
They couldn't do shit. So it's kind of bittersweet for me. You know what I mean? If there's one year that I wanted the Lakers or the Dodgers to win a championship, this is the year
Yeah.
where their fans can't even enjoy it.
Where to find the petty light.
You got to. You have to
to
find
find
it because that's the only shit we got left. But welcome back. Episode, I don't even know what episode it was because it's been so many weeks since we last recorded. We're just happy to be here, man.
Straight up.
I'm still happy to still be alive, still be kicking.
Waiting on Turkey Day.
Waiting on Turkey Day. I know. I feel like are you like? I feel like a lot of people just are skipping. Like they always skip like Thanksgiving. They go straight to Christmas. Like after, you know what I mean. And I feel like a lot of people are doing that. And I'm with them, man. If you want to skip, if you just want to go straight into the holiday spirit, straight into the Christmas spirit. I support you 100% because hey, whatever makes you happy, do whatever makes you happy. As long as it ain't hurting nobody, do whatever makes you happy. Like, and that's what I'm on. That's the energy I'm on.
Really check it. Whatever makes you happy.
As long as it's not hurting nobody.
No, it's not. What about their feelings? Does that count?
Fuck their feelings. I don't give a fuck about what come on, man.
So I go on social media on Tuesday to try to troll and therefore own the libs. I don't want to hear any tears.
Yeah, yo. Listen. Oh man.
Yo, this is the America we live. That's the society we live in now, man. Trolls are really out here running things.
Yeah.
You got a troll in the White House. We got trolls setting off all types of new conspiracy theories. It's like this rollout of technology is getting real rough.
Yeah.
It's getting real rough, man.
It is.
It just started to hit me this past month or so about, we are truly living in the technology era now.
Yeah.
Where it's like when this is how people must have felt when the era began, when they started building factories and what was that era called?
The Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, the Industrial Revolution. You know, the way of life is changing.
Yeah, it is.
The way of life as we knew it growing up is changing.
Yeah.
With things that you used to do, you don't do it that way anymore.
No.
You know?
Like,
but
what do you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest thing that changed out of coming out of this? Well, not that we're out of it, but what are we going to look back and say the biggest thing that changed?
I think the biggest thing that's going to change is social interaction. I think the long-term effects of everything that's going on is either people are never going to party the way that they used to party, or when they do get to party again, it's going to be on a whole new level now.
Gotcha.
Because people are going to attack with a different type of vigor and no longer take going out on the weekend for granted.
What do you think, Alec?
I don't know what would be the biggest thing that would change. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think anything is going to change, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything is going to stay the same. Because, I mean, we can even look right now, like how there's like a lot of flare-ups in certain states because people aren't wearing masks, because people are still partying and people are still going out and not social distancing and finding the dumbest excuse to not wear a mask, or they are wearing a mask, but I've been seeing some people like cutting them and shit so they could speak, wearing a mask and
fucking
not
dumb
covering their nose.
shit. Dumb shit. Halloween was just yesterday, and we saw people, like how many fucking Halloween parties there were, and people are killing celebrities. Like I didn't see regular people I know at gatherings or just straight up parties.
Yeah.
At straight up parties.
Yeah, so, yeah, like, for your question, I don't think anything is going to change, honestly. I don't. The only thing that I could possibly see is like, or I would like to see, is maybe a more kind of like, more mask wearing, not for everyday usage, but just more like incentivizing wearing a mask when you're sick, especially at like schools and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because now, or at least pre-corona, that was like never a thing.
Right.
Nobody ever wore a mask at work or at school or for whatever reason. So that would be cool to see if there was more like a more of a push for something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that would be dope to see. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I'm with y'all. I think that twofold. I think is going to be the biggest difference that I think we're going to see because as a result of this is school to me.
yeah,
I think from now on going forward, school and work.
yeah.
I think
That's actually true. Yeah.
the biggest thing is you are not going to be able to convince parents or schools that that kids should be physically in school 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Like we've had a full calendar year, almost not a calendar, almost a full year of showing what's possible and what's not. And I think that going forward, kids, I think a lot of even public schools are going to be hybrid. And it's going to be you're in school 3 days and then you're out of school 2 days. And that's what's going to curb a lot of things. That's going to curb funding that's going to be needed for the schools, which could be a good or bad thing. Because,
It's going to be a bad thing because the government doesn't know how to manage that the right way.
Depending on the states.
They'll slash too much.
Depending on the states, because the states manage public schools already.
True.
So it's like I feel like in a place like Massachusetts, I feel like they're gonna benefit.
It'll feel better than a Mississippi.
Than a Mississippi, Georgia, etc. Pick a southern state, honestly.
That's not racist.
No, it's just accurate. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be. I feel like you don't know how many people that had jobs, right? That could have been working from home.
Yeah.
And they've asked their managers, like their bosses, like, can I work from home a couple of days a week? And they're like, no, it's not possible, or this, that, and the third. And then COVID hit, and they're like, here's the program you download on your computer. This is how you sign in. This is how you know what I mean? And then all these people are like, dog, I could have been working from home this entire time instead of wasting hours at this office building.
For being in the office building, the commute you have to make.
Right, exactly.
Itself. My goodness, man.
100%. 100%. I think that that's going to be the biggest thing. Like, it's going to be,
So work expectations, school expectations, and things like that.
Yeah, and I wonder where how the money goes. And I know you know more about that than I do. Like all these offices, all these office buildings, and all these companies that rent these office spaces, and now they're like, well, 90% of my employees work from home now, or all of them do. So I don't need to renew this lease on this building. You know what I mean? And it's like how that and what the trickle down of all these empty office buildings.
Well, all those commercial property owners, their property values are just going to start plummeting.
Yeah.
Then we'll see a big sell off. The thing about
what do you think it being repurposed as, or what do you think it'll become?
Housing.
And the ones that don't become housing?
Low income housing, moderate income housing, luxury housing, depending on what part of the city that you're in and stuff like that. If it doesn't turn into housing, I guess some buildings could be used by the city, or there'll be some industry that utilizes some of them, like, storage facilities. They can be converted as. There might be some hospitals that might need some additional office space and stuff like that.
True.
But your traditional mom and pop business that will come in and rent out your commercial space, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. So 10 to 15% of your business is done.
Yeah.
Those type of renters.
And now I feel like mad people are going to be looking, if you got any type of good like money, or like you had like imagine you're a lawyer and you had an office or some shit like that, and you had a couple people like I feel like the other part of real estate is now literally, like, even talking with my girl about it, about like how her job and going forward with her job and the company she works for, it's like now having an office in your house is now back a thing again. You know what I mean? Like when we were younger, people had like the computer room or something like that. But over time, it got changed into something else. You know, a second living room. But people weren't really, because everyone was mobile with their laptops and stuff like that. You didn't need a room with a dedicated place for the big back computers.
Yeah.
Now it's going back to that. Like now everyone's like, you know what it would be dope if I had an office.
Yeah.
You know, and now I feel like that's what people are. I don't know you. I mean, you're in real estate. Like if people are starting to ask for that now.
People are asking for that. They're also asking for like everything they need so they never have to leave their house anymore.
Yeah.
And like even if there's 2 people living in there, they want 3 bathrooms. You know, it's truly it's either one or two things. Either people want very, very little, so they're minimalist, so they'll just take a condo and that's it, or they're gonna maximize their apartment. They're gonna have a 2-bedroom but treat it like it's a 3. A 3-bedroom treat it like it's a 4 or a 5.
Yeah.
You know, they have an extra room for their office. They have a walk-in closet. You know, they got a second, if not a 3rd bedroom, even though 1 or 2 people are living in there.
Right.
People are maximizing their space, so they're like, I don't have to leave home anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, man.
Along with the fact that everyone's just, and particularly with Boston, just getting out of the city. Period.
Yeah.
You know, that's two markets
so
in
funny.
Boston that's gonna plummet. Number 1, the commercial real estate market, and then the condo market.
Yeah.
You know, condo market in particularly, you're seeing drop offs where you put this condo on the market last year, you're gonna get 800,000-900,000 for it. You put it on there today, 5, maybe 6.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 30% drop in some places because everyone's getting out of the city, trying to get into the suburbs.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because for years, everyone was moving into the city.
Yeah.
It was the reverse of what we grew up on. Everyone with money was abandoning the suburbs and moving into the city. COVID hit, and now everyone is leaving, either gone or leaving.
Yeah.
You know, and
Ghost town, man.
it's like
It's a ghost town.
I don't want to. We'll get into the election thing, but I don't want to like give Trump some pub. But New York City isn't a ghost town, but relatively,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Boston is a ghost town relatively to what it should be, you know? And I know you don't want to speak, people from New York or whatever, or any place don't want to say that because that hurts business overall. But it's like
Facts is facts.
Facts
man.
are
It's like we're
facts.
seeing it right now. I mean,
we see it.
Come on.
We see it. How many places do we hear of those like obscure places that like are their real estate is booming now?
Yeah.
The Martha's Vineyards, the Nantuckets, or not even the real estate, everything around it. Because Martha's Vineyard ain't used to being open this late.
Yeah.
They used to, everybody had already come back by now.
Yeah.
The people I know that own houses in Martha's Vineyard are still there.
Still there.
They're like, why am I going back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get cold on Martha's Vineyard, blah blah blah. But we're inside, we good, we got money, you know. And they're like, what am I gonna go back in the city for? Matter of fact, I'm about to sell that place.
Exactly.
And all those people in the Silicon Valley that moved to Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe was the place they used to vacation.
Yep.
Now they're like, nah, we there the whole time. All the people in New England, they went to 2 places. They went to Martha's Vineyard, or they went to Maine.
Yep.
Because for y'all people that don't know, Maine is the other. Maine is their Atlanta. You know what I mean? That's a place they don't touch.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, they don't talk to black people about Maine.
Yeah, Atlanta.
What's the town in Maine? It's not Bangor. Bangor, I feel like is their capital. But there's a specific town in Maine. It's a beach town, and it's a coastal town, and that's where they go. Honestly,
The Mainzarks?
Huh?
The Mainzarks?
The main Zarks? No, for real. But yeah, man. Yeah, outside of me being just happy to be here, that's me fighting all the fucking anxiety I have over Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten to a point where now I'm past it, because now, like I was talking to Jeremy earlier today, like now I'm kind of in like in a state. I'm in
He's in a state in between fight or flight.
yeah.
I bask in this state.
Yeah.
It's a state where you're just ready. able and willing for whatever happens.
Yeah.
And there's a balance that your body's just in right now, because I don't know if I'm gonna be fighting
Or I'm be
or I'm
celebrating.
gonna be flighting and celebrating.
Yeah.
And
Like-
the ultimate relaxation, am I gonna fall to ultimate relaxation, or am I gonna go into utmost rage?
Yeah.
You know,
Cause I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ready for this level of disappointment or this
Well,
level of
let's talk it through.
of-
Let's talk it through, right?
yeah.
Let's say worst case scenario, Donald Trump wins
Well,
this election.
first things first. First thing first. Did y'all? Well, me and Alec, Alec voted.
Yeah.
This was Alec's first time voting and first time eligible to vote. So I don't want y'all to get it twisted and think Alec was just sitting on his ass. Alec is 20 years old, and this
Fuck
was
them if they did think that.
true. Fuck y'all. But this is his first opportunity to vote. Unlike my first opportunity to vote was in 2008. When I was 19 and I voted in Barack Obama, Alec has to vote in old ass Joe Biden. But nevertheless, how was your
Pawn.
how was your first time voting?
It was good. It was really, for me, it was really easy, a real seamless process.
Voter suppression is a myth.
It felt like it. It felt like it, but it was fine. Like,
Yeah, like there was no lines. There was
no
none.
lines.
Granted, of course, we're in Massachusetts. We're voting in we're voting in the town of Randolph. You know, so like, it's not that level of waiting. But I mean, go on. Sorry.
yeah, so there was no lines. There wasn't a lot of people there. It was pretty easy. I just went in there, gave them my first and last name, got my ballot, and it just felt like a multiple choice test. To be honest, like it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Now I thought there was going to be I never voted before, so I was expecting to have like 100 different candidates for all different local elections and the presidential election and shit like that. But there wasn't a lot of people there, and it was pretty easy. Yeah, it was fine. So, and I felt it was my first time voting, obviously, and I felt like pretty like proud, almost like a sense of accomplishment, low key. Like,
Yeah.
so
Me
it felt
too.
pretty good, to be honest. So
Yeah, me too. Like I felt like I feel that 100%, and I'm glad that you felt that because it's like it's really on that like put your money where your mouth is shit.
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
feel like if at least you have it on record where you stood at this moment in your life and in this the history of this country. You put on record where you stood with this shit, and it's like it's even like me. I felt
Hopefully you still with Trump.
yeah, I felt that way like
4 more years.
4 more years. I felt that way. Interestingly enough, not even in the Barack election, it was actually voting in my first primary.
yeah.
When I voted, where I really was like, no, I am going to vote for Bernie Sanders. I want it known that I wanted Bernie Sanders to be the candidate, our nominee, our Democratic nominee. And that was that moment that I felt like dutiful. I felt like I like did what I needed to do. In the Barack shit, that I was young. I didn't really, I understood politics and I followed politics, but it was like, it was Obama or Cheney. Like, it was like, listen, I'm voting for Barack Obama. This is my first time, but I'm not going to be devastated if Barack lost. I wasn't I was too young. Like it didn't affect me enough to the point where how devastated I was when Hillary lost 8 years later. By that time I'm 26 years old. Like I'm a grown, like I'm almost grown, and I really knew the true implications of that shit. And I was really in the game the whole time. It's like when in 1996 when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl. I didn't fucking know. I'm like, I was rooting for the Packers because I like the color green. I didn't know New England meant Boston and was us. But by the time we were in the Super Bowl in 2001, that shit meant something to me because I followed them. I knew they were us. I knew they were, and it's like, yeah, it's just different. I mean,
This whole election is definitely different. Like, this is probably the first time that, like, for me, this is the first time I've ever seen such an emphasis on voting.
Yeah.
And, like, this is the first time I've ever been.
That isn't corny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's the first time that I've ever
rock the vote or die.
Yeah, like it's the first time I've ever even taken an interest in politics. Because of how everywhere people are telling you to vote and how your vote matters and
vote early.
Yeah, go to the polls
early.
And everything like that. So
even me at
the
third
numbers right now, they're saying like more people have voted early in some states than the entire state.
In the entire
voted
election.
last time.
I think already, like in Texas, I think they said
in
like already like
Texas.
9 million people
Yeah,
have voted.
and Texas already beat it.
Yeah.
Or it was at like 90% of the total of the, and that's Texas, yo.
Yeah.
Fucking Texas. And
That's not
like,
even Texas. That's all those California motherfuckers that moved to Texas.
Turn to
There's,
Texas
there's
Bush.
some shit going down in Texas too right now.
Yeah.
With all those Californians moving in down there, man, they are none too pleased.
yeah. I'm like
About to start calling that bitch Cali, Texas pretty soon.
I mean
It'll
it,
be a beautiful
shit.
thing.
No,
Kinda
how about
already is.
we just call it all Mexico like it was before?
Easy.
Careful.
Careful.
My fault.
Careful.
How the fuck? How you take that from Mexico and then hate and name all your cities and states after in Mexican names? And I'm talking about all of it. I'm talking about California, Arizona, New Mexico, obviously in Texas, and name all your cities, the name of your streets, all that
Ana.
shit. Santa Fe, Santa Ana, fucking El Paso,
Calabasas.
fucking where's the Spurs, San Antonio, all this shit, and then you hate Mexicans.
Funny.
Are you trying to reference someone's hypocrisy, Chucky? Come on, stop it. Stop it. Next topic. Let's go.
But yeah, I am. But you said you asked a question. You said what would I do? Like what am I gonna like? What was
you
your
guys
question?
gonna do? What would you do
If Trump won,
if Trump wins?
I don't know what I would do because at the end of the day, I know the fact of the matter is my life is just gonna go on. It's just gonna go on and whatever, and it's gonna continue this circus. I think that if Trump wins, the biggest difference for me is I feel like that would make me withdraw. It'll make me withdraw from politics as a whole. Like it'll really put a negative, like I won't even find shit funny no more. You know what I mean? Like this shit is not even funny. It hasn't been funny for a while. But even the funny shit, let's watch the Daily Show and we make fun of Mitch McConnell, or let's make fun of so and so, or let's make, or even Last Week Tonight, or any little Young Turks, anything you watch politically. There's just so much at stake. And so much, and we just saw with him naming that next of confirming that next Supreme Court justice and
Judging Amy,
and it's not a joke
He confirmed
and
that
it's
in
not
like 30
funny,
days.
dude, and yo,
30 days. He confirmed the Supreme Court justice.
yo,
I don't know too much.
Antifa. No,
I don't know too much when it comes to that, but it's
Dog.
I feel like confirming a Supreme Court justice
the
used
week
to take
before the
like-
election, bro,
used to take like 6 months,
dude,
like half
dude.
the year.
Yo, homie, when Barack nominated, what's his name? God damn it. Garrett, not Garrett.
Yeah, I think that was something. Whoever it was the Supreme Court nominee that the Republicans
Months
held
before
up.
the election. 8 months before the election.
More than enough time to confirm him.
They were like,
then some.
the Senate, Republican controlled Senate, Mitch McConnell, was it Mitch McConnell? Who said, we shouldn't be confirming a new Supreme Court justice in an election year. We have to let the people decide.
This is the whole thing about it. Though.
And then they confirmed that same senator campaigned to confirm a new Supreme Court justice a week before the election. What's the difference? That's the thing. It's like, yo, these Republicans, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. And Democrats will cannibalize their own strongest candidates because they said one wrong thing, because Democrats and liberals are the party of cancel culture. If you say the one wrong thing, they'll cancel you and want you to step down and all this other shit and all blah, blah, blah. A Republican senator will straight up contradict what he just said on paper. You'll show him the quotes and he won't give a shit. No one will ask anything from him. No one will ask for his seat. No one ask him to resign.
It's actually quite gangster once you think about it.
That's what I mean. We're
Just saying.
the only ones playing by the rules.
Yeah.
We're the only ones playing by the rules. And we lose every time. I don't want to say that and then put that shit in the air. I take that back because on Tuesday, what do you think, Jay? Or what do you think is going to happen?
Well, first and foremost, I think that Biden's going to win. But the way I'm mentally prepared for certain situations, if Biden loses, oh well, life goes on. Because I think we're in such a bad space right now that, of course, things could get worse. Of course, they can get worse.
Yeah.
But will they? We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, a second Trump presidency, Lord knows what the fuck could be in store
Yo.
for that. But at the same time, it's like I'm coming into this election on some. I'm not excited about either candidate. It's just which candidate annoys me and fills me with less fear. You know,
Of course.
and that's just a tough position to be in.
I feel like a more interesting take on this whole thing would be like, because like you guys just said, even if Trump wins, life goes on. Like, I think a lot of people don't really understand is that in presidential elections, who's elected really isn't going to affect your life unless you're in like a certain, like, I guess, financial category, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like if Trump were to win, I feel like with the protests that happened this past year with Black Lives Matter and things like that, as weird as it may sound, I feel like if Trump were to win, the only, I guess, good thing that would come out of that would have to kind of force people to get involved in local politics, I think.
Yeah.
Because like when
Continue
people,
to open their eyes more.
yeah, because when people want like police reform and they want to change education, all this extra shit or whatever, like that really isn't going to come from the president. That's more more so going to come from
Your
like local
state and
politics.
local government. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like if Trump stays, you know, the big bad, if he stays in office, I feel like it would literally force some people to say, okay, like we have to make change. How do we do this? And that's when like, you know, more people would get involved in local elections and things like that. I think that could still happen if Joe Biden does get elected, but
I know what you mean. It's definitely going to be more of a sigh and relax.
Yeah, exactly.
If Joe Biden wins, and they'll still allow someone like the Attorney General in Kentucky to get reelected because they feel like the job is done. Because you're right. Because what happened? Because you just said that, right? And 2 years after Barack Obama won, what happened? Democrats lost the House and the Senate. Why? Because everyone was sitting back and relaxing because Barack won, but they don't understand politics, and they didn't understand that without the House and the Senate, they're going to make everything Barack tries to do the hardest thing possible. And that's why Barack wasn't able to do a lot of the things that he was trying to do. You know, I'm not trying to say Barack Obama was some godsend and he was the greatest president of all time, but there was a lot of things that he was trying, that too big, like a couple big things that he got done took forever to get done because he couldn't get it done because he was fighting with the Senate in the House of Representatives, and there was a lot of things that got left on the table because he was so busy fighting that battle for fucking 8 years, for 6 years out of his presidency. You know, and you're right. Like, I hope that if Biden wins, and I hope that he does win, that we quickly transition into the midterms.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now we got the presidency. Now let's focus again on the midterms. And we did 2 years ago. That's how, you know what I mean? We did. And we got a lot of people elected in a lot of different states. Shout out to the big three. Or the big four.
Which is another reason why I think Trump is going to lose this election.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Those midterms start to show, okay, people
Yeah.
paid attention, woke the fuck up, got organized, voted out people in the Congress and in the Senate that they felt that were his allies, and now there's the opportunity to vote him out in particularly.
Yeah.
You know? And also, too, the way that Trump is playing it right now, he's playing it like someone who thinks they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's saying all the stuff he's saying about, you know, throwing out votes. Early votes should be illegal. Mailing in your vote should be illegal. But, you know, so far, shout out to all those Supreme Court justices who I've agreed with every decision they've made so far with regards to the election and how long you could continue on counting votes, because this is something else people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. This may be
This may be a federal election.
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't understand is that this may be a federal election, but it's all ran by the states. You know, and certain states have certain rules.
Yeah.
So your state might say, okay, the rule is you have to drop off your mail-in ballot no later than the day of the election, while some say no, it just has to be postmarked by the day of the election. And those actually mean different things for different
Yes.
people in different states. And that matters. So everything I've been reading so far about the current Supreme Court justices making rulings on a case-by-case basis, I see a lot of liberals on the left crying and moaning about it. It's not that serious. From my point of view, they're reading what that your law says and actually following it. Yeah. If you don't like it,
change it.
Change it.
Change it.
Like justices tell you all the damn
if
time.
If you don't like how that went for the next work to change, do the next 4 years, work to change it so that goes up on the next election, but by the next election, that law is already changed. Speaking to what Alec was talking about people understanding that how much power is in your state and local elections and things like that in your state legislature. And, it's like when Alex said that thing about about voting, and it's like, he's like, he never really noticed about like how much these campaigns about voting. I'm 31 years old. I've voted in 3 presidential elections already. This is my 4th one. And I never knew all the rules to early voting before this. In my head, I'm like, you vote on election day, or there's absentee ballots. If you're not in the state that you vote in, you send in an absentee ballot. I didn't know about how almost every state had protocol for early voting, and it's the same process.
Same here.
And the only difference is you put it in an envelope and you drop it in the box, versus when on election day you legit take your paper and you insert it into the machine. You know what I mean?
I remember me and you get into a huge discussion about that too, about like the election should be like a national holiday and everybody should just have like 2 or 3 days off just to vote.
Yep.
And then when I learned about, wait a minute, there's all this early voting going on?
Yep.
No. People have plenty of time and opportunity to do this if they actually want to go do it.
Plenty of time.
And it doesn't even have to interrupt your day-to-day life.
No. It's it's like and once I realized that early in the late summer, when I really looked at like how most of the states have these protocols and how simple it is and all this other shit, my whole outlook on election changed and how we do our election changed. It's just like, but it's so government like, right? How there's so many programs, government programs, fucking government protocol, all these things, but it's like they do a great job of suppressing them.
Yeah.
In making sure people do have no idea that they exist.
Yeah, by suppressing it, you mean suppressing the marketing about it.
Yeah, marketing about it. So it's like, it's just a secret. It's from housing to education and all. There's all types of shit you can apply for. Mad money that's just sitting there. And nobody is using it because they don't know it's there. They don't really know about the government budget and the budget for your city, your state, city, town, and what goes into what. And then how those things get cut because nobody's utilizing it. Well, nobody's utilizing it because nobody knows, and it's like, and it goes in that same vein of the early voting. I would have been early voting.
Yeah.
What? Granted, it also wasn't in my mind because in my 3 elections general elections, presidential elections I voted in, and even primaries, I've never had to vote. I mean, I've never had to wait. Yeah. Ever. Never. There was never a line. There was never I went up there and somebody was in front of me, or anything. So I never had a negative thought of trying to vote on those days. But I also at the same time knew that so many other states had so many issues with voting and waiting in long ass lines. And now I'm like,
so many red states,
right? And now I look at it with a different view. I'm like, dog, you can early vote for like 3 weeks out the election. Not to say that there should never be any lines, but I'm like, yo, there's mad time for every one person that votes on that early votes. That's one less person that has to show up on election day, and that helps more. That helps unsuppress the vote. So voting early is just,
What about some of those voter suppression tactics? It's like That's one of the things on the national media front. I'm just stunned that they never talk about. Like they're talking a little bit about it now because so many people in media just hate Donald Trump, and they're just throwing a lot of vitriol towards the Republican Party altogether.
Now they're exposing everything, but before they wasn't saying shit.
But it's just like the Republican Party, not Republicans individuals, but the party, the politicians. They know their ideas are not popular with the masses to the point that they suppress the fucking vote. So I really can't think of anything more anti-American than that.
Yeah.
Straight up anti-American.
Yeah. And they're the ones riding around with flags on their truck.
Yeah.
They're the ones. And that's
the level of hypocrisy within that party, man.
Real talk. Like, we need to repurpose the flag, bro.
As individual voters, I don't know how someone could walk around and be like, yo, yeah, I'm a Republican. I really fuck with this party. I can say that to a certain degree about the Democrats as well, but that's a different type of argument. But the argument specifically against the Republican Party for me is, yo, that's how you know your ideas are trash. Your ideas don't work. They don't work. They're not popular. So instead of changing them, you'll rather suppress people to try to get your ideas out there. That's dangerous.
It's sick.
That's nah.
It's sick.
That's bad. That's bad. Because at least when you look at the Dems or the liberal side of things, even if you hate them, you discuss it by them, the idea of suppressing the vote, no. They're not going to stop you from, as much you want to say about the cancel culture nowadays, which to me just like, yo, because people don't like bullies anymore. They call out bullying. And are people a little bit oversensitive to it? I would say yes, maybe. Yeah. But at the core issue, I fuck with the core issue.
Yeah.
We're not letting bullies eat no more.
Yeah. You can't eat here.
You can't eat here. You can't sit at this table no more. You're a bully.
Get
the fuck out of here.
We're not about to like. It's not about like. We can stand on the different side of things, but if you're just out here spewing lies, if you're just out here spewing lies, then we're not even discussing anymore. We're not talking anymore.
So like that. So as far as that cancel culture goes, that cancel culture is trying to cancel certain individuals who are having a negative effect on the culture. Whereas what these Republicans are doing, they're really trying to cancel the culture, period. Yeah. You know, voter suppression, that's really cancel culture right there. Your vote does not count. Your vote does not matter. Because we'll do everything in our power to either throw it out, which all three of the Trump-appointed Supreme Court justices were a part of, doing Bush v. Gore, getting those Florida votes thrown out, you know. Nah. These people, their ideas are the Republican Party. They're not popular. Even within their own states, they're not popular and or working. It's just that, again, it's brand recognition with these politicians. Well, he's been the senator for this long. He's been the congressman for this long. Yeah. We're just used to the BS, basically, so we're just going to vote him in again. Yeah. And then when people think that they're waking up because, okay, well, this time we voted out one of our three or four representatives that are screwing us over. We got rid of one of our two senators who's been there for 3 or 4 terms now. Yeah. And they think they made a real difference. No, you just, if you voted somebody else like them, you didn't change shit.
No, you just, yeah.
Just swapping places.
Yeah.
But with this new electorate that's a part of the process right now, meaning the Generation Z, the young folk out there who are voting for their first time, being educated to the facts for the first time, that's going to bring change in politics that we need. Because we have a bunch of young folks out there who, for lack of a better expression, just not fucking around. Yeah. And they see through the political jargon and all the BS that they hear, and they don't fall for the marketing traps. Yeah. They don't fall for the pandering either. You know, but we'll see come Tuesday. Damn, dog. What the fuck do we know? Trump can still win.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the sick part. You know, like I have trouble. Not trouble. It fuck Jeremy, because Jeremy taught you know the level of why the anxiety, the lack thereof of anxiety, because Jeremy can't vote, nigga. You know what I mean?
I'm a conscientious observer.
Yeah, Jeremy can't vote, so
that's right. Yeah.
Like, you know, like. This thing ain't got no skin in the game.
I can vote. I voted for my Haitian president several months ago. I casted my vote absentee. Absentee over 30 years.
You voted for Duvalier?
Shit.
But no, like
Papa Doc.
But no, it's like, but even in the strength of your vote and realizing like, dog, like if I don't just represent me, I represent my family, a good most of my family that cannot vote. You know what I mean? So like, it's important. It's important. It's like.
What about the Trump voters in your family? You didn't represent them.
Who the fuck is them? In any scenario. In any fucking scenario. I hate this dude so much, man.
That's your president you're talking about, man.
Yo,
Dear leader.
And it's been 4 years. And you see how Chappelle is hosting Saturday Night Live again?
Yeah.
4 years to the day. Like, this shit makes me so nervous, dog. Like,
I was just thinking to myself the other day, too, I wonder if they were going to have him host again. Like they did after the election. Not last year.
yeah, 4 years
4
ago.
years ago.
And this 4 years has flown fucking by.
Yeah.
Flown by.
Because every day's been some shit.
Yeah.
I remember, like, before he was even elected, I just remember I want to say it was my sophomore year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one of my teachers, his name was Mr. Higgins, who was cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, we were talking in class because it was, like, a political class or whatever. And I remember people were like, yo, like, do you think, like, Trump's going to win or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and niggas was cheesing and laughing. And I remember him saying, like, nah, it's impossible. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, he's not going to win this shit. Like, we're stupid. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
4 years later, like, dog, like, we're deep in this
Yo,
shit.
and he was right.
Yeah.
Like, right in the sense of that's how everybody felt.
Yeah.
Ain't no way this nigga, please.
It was a
Everybody,
joke,
what?
nigga.
The way that went head in and that's the joke, nigga. That shit was like a car accident, bro. 2016 was like you're in a car with your friends. You know when you were young, when you just got your car and it's a group of y'all and y'all are heading to the mall or heading to some shit and then boom. That liberal train of Barack for 8 years and now we're gonna elect the first woman president and then that train was like, Bwah. No, that was a semi coming, nigga. And fucking now they make you honorary prom king because y'all niggas king and queen because all y'all niggas died in a fiery wreck, nigga. Like that was 2016.
No.
We was floating, bro. And then you got punched in the fucking gut and he stood over you, nigga, and like kissed your girlfriend and smacked your mother. That was 2016, and that shit, we got PTSD, bro.
Yeah.
I got PTSD. Yeah. Like, we thought the country was heading in a certain direction, and then we got reminded. And it was a good reminder. It was a needed reminder. Because if that shit existed, we needed to know then.
Yeah. But you know, though, what the biggest wake-up call, I think, for everyone was, and I go back to the day after the election, what was the number one topic? Everybody kept asking, what was the number one search topic on Google? What is the Electoral College?
Oh,
That's
idiots.
what woke everybody up to early voting now. Because, yeah, don't forget, Hillary won the popular vote by 2%. The polls were not necessarily wrong. They just underestimated the amount of... When I look back at the polls back in 2016, the polls weren't necessarily wrong to me.
It's where you were polling.
Is where you were polling, and the polls underestimated the lack of enthusiasm for Hillary like there was for Barack. They thought it was the same. It looked the same, but it wasn't. And why was it not the same, in all honesty? Because black people weren't really behind it.
No.
The way that they thought black people were behind it.
Yeah.
They thought everybody was with her,
No.
and they weren't.
No.
So they sat it out.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Trump, who, for like it or not, he ran a populist campaign. Just that the populists that he got excited with, the type of populists we tend not to like.
Yeah.
You know, he ran the same type of campaign, but to a different type of audience that Bernie ran.
Yeah.
Bernie, who also back in
Had 'em
2016 won his primaries but got screwed by the DNC. So again, like it's like you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
2016 Democrats.
Because the question is, when these polls come up, right? You ask me, it's like you turn and ask someone, who are you likely to vote for in 2016? even if you go to the you go to the places, right? And they say Trump or Hillary Clinton. You'll say Hillary Clinton. But they don't ask, are you going to vote?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. That's how she lost those counties and those states and all that shit. It's like you ask them, like, who'd you vote for? I vote for Hillary. Well, are you going to vote? Yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she's going to win.
Yeah.
No.
That was a vibe right there. Yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah,
because
but she's
gonna
win.
I
It's
don't
like,
need.
come on.
Everybody
Trump ain't gonna
thought they
win.
could take a seat.
Yeah,
I
everyone
don't need to vote.
We thought that train was heading in that direction. She won the DNC. She's the first legitimate female fucking nominee. The train has to be rolling, right? It has to be rolling. It wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. And I don't give a fuck about what people say about popular vote. I don't give a shit about the popular vote when we know that doesn't mean anything. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but that's not what wins you the election. We knew that. We knew that with Gore. I was a kid when that shit happened, and I knew that. We all learned what the electoral. Did you learn what the electoral college was in high school?
Yeah,
I did. Did you? We all did. It's just whether you fucking paid attention or not. How dare you, especially Massachusetts? Like, how dare you not know what the fuck that is? How fucking dare you? I'm not giving people no passes.
Gotta check you hot.
No, that shit gets me hot, bro. That shit gets me hot. It's simple shit. It's simple fucking shit. Electoral college, delegates. Well, how many delegates do I have? Well, it's based off your population. That's how many delegates you have. And the delegates, all those electoral college votes, those go into the general elections. The first to 270. Whoever gets 270 fucking delegates wins the election. That's how it is. It's that simple. I just explained it in 10 fucking seconds. But you still got people like, but we need to abolish the electoral college. No, that ain't the problem. That's not the problem. Yeah, of course, if you wanted to be just straight popular vote, that would be great. Sure, fine.
The thing about that, I like the electoral college because it forces everyone to stay honest. Because at the end of the day, let's kick the ballistics again. One of the reasons Hillary lost because Hillary didn't go to places. She didn't campaign. Yeah. She didn't even take the fucking train to Pennsylvania.
Nope.
You understand? Straight up, the real talk, there were certain states, they're like, Hillary didn't even go here.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she lost them because of that shit.
How the fuck
she took it for granted.
Did you lose states that Barack won? How?
And to this day, that campaign and the people who ran it, and this is why I say fuck
and the
the
fact
DNC, they'll never take responsibility for that shit.
Never.
It's either the Bernie bros fucked us up,
patriarchy, they hate women,
all this shit. Like, no. Okay. Y'all ran a shitty campaign against someone, whether you like it or not, ran a great one in terms of marketing. Because at the end of the day, when you're Trump and you're on that podium at the beginning of the RNC's debates and stuff like that, and you're on that podium with 13, 14, 15 people, and you're bringing in 25, 30% of the votes in the primaries, like, marketing job complete. People are rooting for you.
There's flags. There's hats. There's
energy.
There's energy. I almost, check ratio or press ratio on any nigga wearing a red hat is 10 out of 10. Anytime you see somebody with a red hat now, press ratio is 10 out of 10. You want to step to them real quick, like you want to, what's this nigga wearing?
I mean, dare I say, like the energy of the Trump campaign matched the energy of the Obama campaign.
Yeah, it did.
In terms of
100%.
In terms of the enthusiasm that their base had for them.
Yeah,
motherfuckers ready to die for Trump the way they were ready to die for Barack.
Mm-hmm. Too bad Barack couldn't run for a third term. That's it.
Like Trump's about to try to after he steals his second election.
Jeremy, what do you?
He's gonna try to. He's gonna fail, but he's gonna try to.
On Tuesday night, what do you think? On Tuesday night, what do you think Trump is going to pull? Tell me what he is going to try and pull on Tuesday night.
I think by Tuesday night, I'm talking 5, 6 o'clock, word is gonna start breaking. Trump's losing. This election's over. Because we already counted so many of the early ballots. We're starting to get into exit polls now. And I think come Tuesday night, you're gonna hear a lot of. I don't think you're gonna hear anything from Trump Tuesday night.
You think
That's
so?
gonna be the thing. I think there's gonna be fires going all around, all types of words. Say, yo, he's losing. It's over. It's over. And you're not gonna hear anything from like Tuesday or Wednesday. You're not gonna hear from him until about 2 days after the election. And it's gonna be, well, hey, you know what? We're still weighing our options to see what's going on. Some of the states that haven't counted yet. Da da da. He's gonna drag out the conceding part for about a week or two. Straight up. Straight up. I'm expecting Tuesday not to be a landslide for Biden. That's what I'm expecting, and it's gonna be a landslide being announced early, if not noontime. People are like, "Yo,
It's a
that
wrap.
states already started counting their early votes." So come Tuesday, there's gonna be some states already like knowing like, "Yo, so and so's ahead,"
And
and the way that it's looking is gonna be Biden who's ahead.
Yeah.
Because the way that they do it is those early votes are based off of your party. So there's like for every one Republican that ordered their early voting ballot or whatever, there were 2 Democrats. That's what the ratio is coming out at. And then on top of that, for every one Republican who returned their ballot, 3 Democrats returned theirs.
Yeah.
You know? So in terms of the early voting, you have a lot of Democrats voting early. So I think Joe Biden's gonna be waking up to an early lead. You know,
Yeah.
a big early lead Tuesday, and then the whole day just gonna be like, oh yeah, he's winning, he's smacking them.
Yeah.
Because the enthusiasm for the Trump side, although it's there, it's lacking in the numbers. He lost a lot of people that he had the first go around. There were a lot of people who voted for him. They were like, fuck it, let's just give it a try, see what happens. And now they're fucking mortified by that decision.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all Trump has left right now is his base.
Yeah.
We all know who his base are.
Tom
After
Brady.
that, there's nothing
I'm
else.
kidding.
There's nothing else on top of that base. Really, there's no real, from my point of view, no real contingency of people I could be like, okay, yeah, you're a rational human being and you voted for Trump.
No.
You know,
No.
like if you're voting for Trump right now,
What about
there's a
Brett
certain-
Favre,
there's a
man?
certain-
He's rational.
Goodness. If you're
And
voting,
Jay Cutler.
if you're voting for Trump
And Jack
right now,
Nicklaus.
there's a certain level of irrationality that you have. I'm not saying you're crazy or you're a bad person, but there's a certain level of you that's just like, you know what? When faced with certain facts, you can still be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go this route anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to you. It takes a certain level of balls to be that way, but you're cruising for a bruising with this dude Trump.
Yeah.
Because he's just such a scam artist.
Yeah.
Through and through, the man in and of itself is a scam artist
Yeah.
of the highest order.
Through
And I
through.
just feel like there's so, like when they say every day there's another sucker is born, and he's showing that in this election.
Yeah.
Because not everybody who votes for Trump is a sucker, but all the suckers are voting for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah.
Just like not everybody who votes for him is a racist, but all the racists, that's their guy.
Yeah.
That's,
Or racism ain't a deal breaker.
yeah,
Um,
straight up.
which is nuts.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Alec, what do you think is going to he might react, or how do you think he's going to react on Tuesday? Tuesday night.
I'm not really sure. I guess I'm not sure how much worse he could react that he already hasn't shown us already, with like the flurry of tweets and misinformation and all this type of shit. Like, I'm not sure how I don't know. I guess what Jeremy said would be like the more logical thing, just like trying to draw out the process as long as possible and try to discredit so many different things that he can. But I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with Jeremy. I think that the only difference is I think he's not gonna go silent or go low. I think he's going to be loud.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be all day. I think that early morning, he is going to already start lighting fires in a sense of spreading lies. Oh, anything that could soften the blow to try and show that he's being cheated somehow. we're hearing in whatever state that they're stopping Trump voters and so. We need to send some backup out there. We need to send troops because they're halting the vote in Kennesaw, Wisconsin, or they're fucking he's gonna start lighting mad fires around the country to make Tuesday a fucking hellscape. That is what I'm expecting. Because he had nothing to lose in 2016. If I lose, I can still be like, in 2016, like, nigga, yo, I just wiped out all you fucking Republicans. All of y'all. Yeah, I lost to Hillary. So what? She was a woman. Everybody wanted to be a woman to win. I was this close to having this shit. Now this one can actually, now he has something to lose. He's the president. So he's playing with house money. If he loses, he's already did it when he said that when he's trying to line up the Supreme Court, he's trying to make sure that no votes are counted after midnight. He's trying to make sure that I think he's going to cause chaos all day. And to try and create this narrative, like I said, that he's being cheated, he was treated unfairly. Votes should be things, should be not counted. I'm not conceding to nothing. He's not going to concede until Inauguration Day. Yeah. I swear to God.
That's what I feel too.
I swear to God.
If he loses, it's going to be, I think, you're dealing with a man, a narcissist of the highest regard.
The highest.
And usually at the type of regard that would actually scare me, right? But thing about it is Trump's type of violence, and say what you want to say about him, right? He didn't start any new wars.
Yeah, when he could have.
So that tells you he's the type of dude, his type of violence it is name calling.
It's word of words. It's a war of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think come Tuesday, when he says that he's losing, he's going to be at a loss of words for the first time. Because Twitter works both ways. You tweet some shit out there, people can tweet shit right back at you. Mm-hmm. They can say all types of what, and I think he's just gonna be stunned and just want to go find a hole somewhere.
Yeah,
and just fucking hide.
Because the number one rule of Twitter, I feel like it was Jesus that said this. It's like Twitter has a star every day.
Yeah,
and your job is to not be that star.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's to not be the thing everybody's talking about, and and that's very true. And but also it's like one of those things with Trump. I feel like he likes that shit. I feel like Trump knows the ultimate thing about Trump. I think as a marketing person, and I'm not giving him any chops of being a businessman or anything like that. But one thing I think that Trump does know is marketing.
Oh, dang.
He knows marketing
and media
from media. He knows how media works. He knows marketing, the hats, the flags, the this, the that. He knows that even if they're saying bad shit about me, it's good. No, what's that? What's the thing? What's the saying? No press is bad. Like bad.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Something press. It's like
there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad press.
All publicity is good publicity.
It's good. Yeah, all good publicity is good publicity. I think he knows that and understands that, and that is true.
Yeah,
it is true. If people are talking about you, it's like that Kanye has a line for everything. Any narcissistic thing, Kanye got a line for. It's like he's like everybody is gonna say something. I'll be worried if they ain't said nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's when it's worried. When you do some shit and nobody says nothing, that's when you should be worried. Yeah. And
shout out to Yeezy 2024.
Yeah, that's who we should be voting for.
Yeezy 2024. If y'all got this shit earlier together, he would have had my vote.
Stop.
Yeezy 2024.
Stop that real quick. Yeah.
Yeezy 2024, yo. Straight up. We got you second go around, Kanye. We got you.
Yo, listen, if Trump wins again, nigga, then I'm definitely voting for Kanye in 2024 because I'm definitely lighting a whole fire to this shit. Real
so I can blast him.
Yeah, I'll be really done with this shit. But yeah, that's...
I told y'all, niggas. I told y'all, niggas. Y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all.
Check is gonna be in the streets, nigga.
Yeah.
Butt naked, suited and booted, nigga.
And I told you, yo, if Trump wins again, I'm done. I'm MAGA, straight up. Straight up. I'm done.
I'm not waiting
I'm
another
done
4 years
losing.
to wear that fashionable hat.
Yeah, I'm done
All right?
losing.
Trump wins. I'm rocking the hat, B. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling
it's a
y'all.
wrap.
I waited 4 long years to rock that hat. I grew dreadlocks to stop me from wearing that hat, baby.
Wait a second. One more question about this, and we'll get
Straight
off
up.
this. One more question. How bad? Because there's the city, towns, cities, and all that. They're preparing for this election, and they're like boarding up businesses, all this type of shit. How bad do you think it's going to be? In which way do you think it's going to be worse? If Biden wins or if Trump
It's
wins?
gonna be worse if Trump wins. It's gonna be worse if Trump wins. Because I think all those MAGA dudes on the Trump side talk about if he loses with Wildin',
They're pussy.
they're pussy. They ain't
They're
about
pussy.
that action. They about that action. You don't
Nah.
talk about that shit.
Nah.
That level of shit when you're actually about that life, right? Whereas the libtards out here, they got it in them. They
Yo,
got it in them.
Antifa is way more about it than the MAGA niggas.
Don't forget those protests.
yeah.
Those protests that went down within days after Trump got elected the first time.
Oh, yeah.
When the women were marching.
Yeah, the
and
pink
fucking
hat.
shit up.
The pink hat clan.
Now that's privilege right there. They gonna wait till nighttime to riot. No, we're rioting
In the
at
daytime.
8:30 in the fucking morning after our fucking lattes, bitches.
Right after Soul Cycle,
Straight
and right
up.
before they got to pick up their kids.
For real, dropping their signs right on the floor in Newberry Street. Not giving a fuck.
I give a fuck. Pick it
Not
up.
give a fuck.
You know who my husband is?
Straight up. If Trump loses, we're gonna see a lot of moaning and groaning and a couple of people wilding out, stuff like that. If Trump loses, if he wins, the people on the left, they're gonna lose it, man.
Yo,
They are not going to cope. They are
dog,
not going to cope
dog.
well.
I think
which
they're
is
gonna
all
burn
the
this
more
whole
reason,
shit down,
yeah,
bro.
Which is all the more reason I think he's gonna lose because
Yeah.
he can't win.
He can't, bro.
I don't think the country could withstand a victory.
Yeah.
Because it's that like let me put it this way. This is the first time I've been paying attention to presidential politics since 1992, since Bill Clinton won that first time. And one of the things I always noticed about the president was, no matter who he is, what party he is, and including the presidential candidates, I can't tell if he's a good or a bad guy. You know, that's what
Yeah.
good presidents do.
Yeah.
They can do something. Say what you want about Barack
There's a
Obama. That
presidential
motherfucker's done some evil shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That comes with the territory, but you
Yes.
never know it because of the way he carries himself.
Yeah.
And
It's
every other
presidential.
president, it's presidential.
And at the end of the day, you respect the office.
Yes.
No matter you respect the office. I don't fuck with them niggas, but I respect. You know what? I'm not gonna to
What Trump has done is
unless I'm
he's-
throwing a shoe at you.
What Trump has done, he's brought it out on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, yo, fuck the office. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whether you're for Trump or against Trump, the thing that connects you now to each other is your lack of respect for the office now, because he's brought a certain lack of respect for it.
Yeah.
You know, just certain shit that you're like, yo, you don't hear about the president doing certain things. Like, and then again, it's about the image. We know it's bullshit, but we still need that. Sometimes we need that bullshit image to keep things afloat. America's a lot more fragile than people care to realize or accept. The last thing we need is our figurehead who literally controls the stock market with everything he says and or tweets
Yep.
with that type of power fucking shit up.
Yep.
You know?
People don't. Yeah. Yeah. What do you
Like
think?
there's not a lot of places. Just one more thing, like people are beginning to lose a little perspective of how unique America really is.
Yeah.
We as a whole are a minority in this world, a very major minority, because of the fact that of the type of shit that we practice and preach and put out into the world. We may not always practice free speech, but we put that idea out into the world,
Yeah.
and other people like hold on to that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
And it influences.
the influence is for real.
Yeah.
The influence is for real. This country
It's like
cannot
black.
withstand
it's
a Trump
like black
presidency.
culture. You know?
And just how bad he is at the fucking job.
yeah.
He's bad. Like all the shit aside. Fuck the policy. Fuck the rhetoric. He's not good at the job.
Yeah.
He's not good at the job. I've never seen anyone of any type of political office when people leave working for him. So many people say like, "Yo, it's trash in there. It's garbage in there. You don't know what the fuck he's doing." You know, like it's just he's not good at the job. He's not good at the job. Fuck everything else. He's not good at being president.
What do you think is going to happen, Alec? Who do you think will be? Do you agree with Jeremy, or do you think the MAGA Knights are going to be out? They're wilding already.
Joe.
But I think it's all for show. But go ahead.
From what we've seen, like I don't think that, people that voted for Trump, I don't think they're as like, there's not as much anger there. I don't see as much anger as I do with people that are seeming to vote for Biden, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that if Trump were to win, I think that it'll be pretty bad. I think those buildings that are boarding up windows and shit are doing the right thing. I think that it's like, especially with the protests that we saw, just how Jeremy said, with Black Lives Matter and all that type of stuff, and
Antifa. I don't know why I keep saying that. Antifa.
and them too. Like, I think there's just
Don't forget the women's march.
yeah.
Don't forget about them.
I think it'll be bad. I think it'll just be like another, almost like another excuse to just like burn some shit down.
Yeah.
And to wild out.
What do you think? Who do you think will be the first? I don't want to say this shit because I don't want to speak into existence. But it's like, who do you think will be the target? No pun intended. If niggas start burning shit down, will it be Target?
What do you mean? Who will be the target?
Or like, because they're gonna have to. If Trump wins in the left riots,
Yeah.
right? They hit the streets. Who do you think would be the target? Jeremy, where do you think?
What business?
Yeah, like where are they gonna go to their local city halls? Are they gonna go to?
Well, I think that's gonna.
What do you think will be the movement?
That's the thing.
Are we dry snitching? Maybe.
Maybe.
Eh.
Fuck.
I don't think people are smart enough to even really pick a target like that.
I think it all happens naturally.
Yeah, I
Like-
think niggas just see a building and then just gonna burn that shit down and
Yeah.
gonna loot. Niggas are gonna.
You think
get
they'll
hurt.
march to DC? March on DC?
There'll be a
like
march
maybe.
on DC. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a march on DC.
There's always a
Niggas,
march on DC,
niggas
yeah.
love marching on DC.
But at the same time, though, it's like this is why I can't see him winning because there's so many people angry at him who want him to lose. How does he actually win the election?
Yeah, how does he actually win?
You know, I could see how he could get 40% of the vote, 42, 43, even 45% of the vote. But I can't see you getting 45% of the vote and Biden not getting 51%. I can see you getting 200, maybe 220 electoral college votes if you can crack 200, but not 270. I can't count up that many states that will go your way. You know? Like, and another side of it too is like the Senate races. Those polls,
Yeah.
you know, like there's real anger for these senators, and with the way that federal election goes, it's like if the president goes down, his party goes down with them. So everyone who's like, I'm not voting for Trump, there's more from my point of view. There's more people say I'm not voting for Trump, I'm voting for Biden. Then there's the other way around. So with that means there's more people say I'm not voting for the Republican ticket, I'm voting for the Democratic ticket.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm gonna vote for the Democratic president than the Republican senator. That is how it usually goes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
unless you're from Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, I'm with y'all 100%. I'm with y'all 100%. I guess the last thing about it is like, do you see where do you think who's getting flipped? What state is getting flipped?
Oh man, Florida.
Florida's getting flipped.
Florida's getting flipped. Florida
Texas.
or
You think Texas? That's the biggest thing. A lot of people have been like grumbling with polls, all this other shit that like that's indicating like, yo, Texas is about to be a battle, like a real battle, and
if he loses Texas,
it's a wrap. If he loses Texas, it's
that's
a wrap.
referendum on the whole Republican Party.
It's a wrap. It's a complete wrap. Like it's a complete wrap. That means that the Dems are definitely gonna get California. The big fish is California, Texas, Florida. You know what I mean? Like if you think they're flipping Florida, if he's gonna flip Florida, if he flips Texas, then it's a complete and utter blowout.
Yeah.
I think that Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, I think they are getting flipped. I'm not 100% on Texas yet, and I would throw North Carolina is getting flipped.
I'll say this: those 3 states, the Michigan.
The only reason why I say that is because those are states that Barack won.
I know,
Yeah.
but the MAGA heads are strong out there.
They are.
And of
But they show-
and of
but-
those swing states, I think those are the last 3 I'll be required.
But you think Florida's getting flipped.
I think Florida's getting flipped because with Florida you have a lot more out of staters in Florida than you do Texas. The reason why Texas is even on the table right now is literally because all these niggas from California are moving in there.
Yeah.
All those people from California and a few people from Massachusetts. Florida's already been on that wave, but now with Trumpito in there, they're like, nah, we gotta get this motherfucker up out of here. You know, and
Florida is Florida technically his state? Because isn't that
technically
where
now,
he?
yeah, because that's where he moved to and pays taxes.
Right.
And he votes out of Florida now. Yeah, no longer New York.
Right.
Trump, right?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah. And Biden's still in Delaware.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll say that 5. Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, North Carolina, and Arizona. Those are the states I think that are going to get flipped.
Yeah, I agree with Arizona
and
and North Carolina.
And when those numbers come in, and I feel like those are going to come in early, I think that's when people are going to know it's a wrap. It's done. Because like in all the projections, why'd I say it like that? All the projections that they've shown and shit like that, they're like, yo, of course, Biden is leading in all of these states. But it's like Trump literally, the way things are going, Trump literally cannot just simply win the same states that he won. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when he's losing certain other ones, and it's shown that no, he's about to drop these, so he's gonna have to gain. You know, every poll shows Biden's winning. Every projection shows Biden, and the Fox News can't even try to flip that. Yeah. You know, and that's what makes me nervous. Period. That's what makes me nervous.
Well, time is like, all this nervous thing. Like if that 2016 gave everybody PTSD, and I understand why, but it's just like that's because people weren't. And again, this is why media sucks. The way that they present facts to you, it's always in the nitty gritty details, man. For example, even this go around, listening to Michael Moore again out of Michigan, him saying, "Oh, listen, man, y'all motherfuckers still don't get it. Michigan, everybody's talking about Michigan might go Biden's. No, Michigan's going Trump. Is going Trump because the MAGA heads are for real." And they're high concentrations in certain areas. I mean, even here in Massachusetts, it's like I'm seeing Trump Pence signs in parts of the South Shore. I'm not used to seeing that type of stuff in the South Shore.
But I mean, but what I mean by that is like his brand of believers are so loyal to a fault that they're gonna resonate. And certain states that people think are going to be up for grabs, and particularly Michigan and Wisconsin, I don't think it's up for grabs in any way, shape, or form. I think the MAGA heads run deeper out there than people care to realize or accept. But like I said, I could be 100% wrong. Yeah,
and then
I
Trump
feel like
loses all those damn states.
Yeah.
Doesn't even crack 170. Doesn't even crack 175 in the electoral colleges.
Yeah.
Wins maybe 17, 18 states.
Right.
Loses 32.
Yeah. I see like and yeah, I do have seen like since 2016 I did see people start putting up Trump signs, but the thing is like we knew that Republican pieces of shit. We knew that Republican type niggas lived in Massachusetts. Of course they did. Of course they did. It's just that now with Trump, they had something to be loud about.
Yeah.
When Mitt Romney, you didn't have that. With Bush, you didn't have that. Yeah. McCain, you didn't have that. Any like presidential Republican president or presidential candidate over the past 20 years. And for every one Trump sign we see, you see 10 Black Lives Matter Joe Biden thing. So it's like you're telling me 10% of the population in Massachusetts is going to vote for Trump? Yeah, probably. But that means 90% are voting the other way. And it's like, and I say this, and it's like, you look at the numbers in 2016, no, the two most states, the only state that voted against Trump more than Massachusetts was California. Those are the highest percentages of voting for like, I think Trump won like 2 counties in Massachusetts, and they both were in Western Mass. And then in California, as big as California is, it went overwhelmingly, you know? So it's like, but yeah, are there fucking MAGA ass people in Cali? Absolutely. And do they have enough people to make a Trump train or a Trump parade? Absolutely. But
burn some ballot boxes.
Burn some ballot boxes. Hell yeah. But of course you put 1,000 people together. Yeah, it's going to look like a big ass parade. But if there's this 1,000 versus 100,000 that could show up tomorrow to counter protest. You know what I mean? It's just like when in Mass when there was that big hoopla about the Proud Boys and shit like that, and they got that approval to have their little rally in the Common. And of course, you can't stop them from having a rally. You can't show that they're a hate group. You can't show that they're a racist group. You don't have that evidence. But what you can do is you can counter protest. Which they did. And they shut that whole shit down. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then when they did the straight pride parade, they just decided to completely ignore it. Yeah. Completely ignore it. Boylston Street was it was bone dry. Yeah. Bone dry. You know? So it's like, yeah, man, I'm done. I'm off this shit. I'm off this shit, dog. Hopefully by the next time we record, and I pray the Lord, my soul to keep, that we are celebrating and we are happy and we're fucking, you know what I mean? And we're not heartbroken. I feel like this is like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl coming and shit, and that anxiety that starts to come is like, oh shit, it's like the Friday before the Super Bowl. Like, yo, before this weekend's over, on Monday morning, then when I step back into this office Monday morning, I'm either going to be ecstatic or I'm going to be fucking miserable. You know? So it's like the next time we sit down on these seats, you know, hopefully things go our way. You want to finally stick to sports and just get down to the nitty gritty of how shitty the Patriots are?
I'm over this shit, man.
I'm just gonna say this about the Patriots. Listen, it's COVID season, no preseason, new quarterback, new system. Players opted out incredibly. Starters. Half of these dudes, I don't even know their names. I don't want to see Izzo ever again in my life, our tight end. I don't know why we keep trying to make these white tight ends work. Everyone just wants that's the new it thing, the white tight end. Not everyone is Travis Kelce or Kittle or fucking
Gronk for that matter.
Gronk or Todd Heap. Is Todd Heap still in the league? That's
not
old.
even.
Not Heap. Whatever. And lastly, why are we surprised? The Patriots offense sucked last year. This isn't about Cam Newton or Tom Brady. If y'all have been paying attention, we have sucked for a calendar year. Our offense has sucked for a calendar year.
Bro, this is exactly why Tom left.
Like,
Tom, let's be real here. What incentives were there for Tom to stay in terms of who he got to work with on the offensive side of the ball?
N'Keal Harry?
Gronk retired. Gronk said, you come back and go for another team, I'll come back just for you, Tom. And it happened. That in and of itself, Tom knew he couldn't stay here. Because if I got motherfuckers who want to come out of retirement to play for me, what else can I get in a place where the coach is just a little bit more chill? And then when you hear the stories of what Tom was asking for, Tom was asking for no more money. Or no, he was saying, yo, Bill needs to chill a little bit. That's what Tom was saying. The stories that are coming out, and Tom was just like, yo, they're thinking, yo, I think I've earned the right for this motherfucker to fall the fuck back. Because the type of kids that are coming up now that I need to play with in order to win.
They are not about to be with that shit.
No. This is the beginning of the dark ages for Bill Belichick.
I am the culture.
Straight up.
Patriot way, I am the Patriot way. I am the culture setter here. And I like the thing is I fuck with Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time. But at the same time, bro, we have seen this over and over and over again. 20 years of this. I just seen DK Metcalf go the fuck off. DK Metcalf was picked number 63 in the second round. You know who the Patriots picked before DK Metcalf? Even though he was a stud in college and with the physique of a Greek goddess, nigga. You know who the fuck we selected? N'Keal Harry in the first round. And even in the second round, we selected Jojuan Williams, a cornerback. Before DK Metcalf, all 6'4", 200 and whatever the fuck pound,
I remember watching a workout video of him.
4'3", with the.
I watched a workout video of him and I was so upset with myself.
How many
motherfuckers? I'm about 10 years older than this dude at least. And he can have me if you wanted to. He can body me.
He'll body you.
He'll body me.
Yeah, easy work. Easy work.
Get your hands off me, young man.
Yeah, like, get your hands out my pocket.
Get off me. Get off me.
Get them off. Whether it's DK Metcalf or whether it's don't get me started on Dez Bryant, us passing on Dez Bryant.
Back.
Don't let like we have a history, a criminal history of passing on talent on some. When at the end of the day, it's like why not pick up that player that we know is incredibly talented but is falling back in a little bit in the draft? Why not pick that player up? Because at the end of the day, all we run around with is undrafted players anyways and late draft picks. Why not throw a flyer out on on Dez Bryant, who we know is a stud in college and is falling in the draft? Why not pick up Lamar Jackson? Why not, you know what I mean? No.
Because you got used to what Tom Brady could do for you.
We'd much rather try and scoop up a player that is in that is past the twilight of his career and try to revive him rather than try to pick up a stud player that's falling in the draft. That's right in front of us. And who cares? Because I promise you, you don't know who Jojuan Williams is. You do not know who he is. But we picked him instead of DK Metcalf. And we do it every year.
I mean, think about how it was for all those years when
and I'm talking about wide receivers. I'm talking about
all offensive players in general. Like,
true offensive players.
Like, who's this guy?
Because defensively, we know how to draft.
That Tom Brady just threw another touchdown to. Remember when the whole thing with Tom was how many different guys, and I think like second or third, or if he hasn't broken the record, for how many different receivers have caught touchdowns from him? That's not a record a lot of QBs even want to have. That also shows a lot of lack of stability in your offense.
We've thrown touchdown passes to fucking what was that nigga? Human Anua, that tight end, that fullback. We've had all types of how many.
The point you can't remember their names because they're no-name guys.
Exactly. How many
they played first for a year or two, caught 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Oh God, man!
Crazy.
This shit never ends, bro. This shit never ends with this team.
But now we have a QB that can't make up for those mistakes. Cam, like him or not, is not a technically sound QB.
No.
Tom Brady is a technically sound QB.
But it's like use them. You obviously picked up Cam Newton because you didn't want to rebuild. You wanted to reload. You wanted to see what this fucking Ferrari could do. Mm-hmm. You wanted to take it out for a drive. Well, if you're gonna pick up the old school, the Ferrari that got a little bit of miles on it, you got to give it an oil change. You got to at least give it new tires. You got to give them some help. You got to go out there and try to wheel and deal, try to make a move. You should have tried to trade for OBJ before he fucking tore his ACL.
That was a stupid-ass injury, too.
Dumbass injury.
What the fuck was he doing?
I didn't see the play.
Because he was trying to fucking stop the play because he fucking terrible-ass Baker Mayfield keeps throwing picks.
Stop what play? OBJ's too small and too frail to stop a motherfucker that big. And then on top of that, the technique was so poor. You go flying
He don't know how to tackle.
Your leg all. That's my point.
The last nigga he tackled correctly was Josh Norman when it was fighting.
Ran up like he was going to do something and then just stop. Now you done for the whole fucking year because you're silly. Just silly. That was a silly injury.
I mean,
silly injury.
I mean, it's his job.
Leg
I mean,
flailing,
look,
you jumping up in the air like, bro.
all right, listen, the form was bad, but the intentions were good.
Yeah, the
Look at
intentions were
DK
good.
Metcalf tracking down that nigga after Russell Wilson threw another inning. I love Russell Wilson, but when Russell Wilson throws a pick, bro,
It's a pick six.
it is a bad one. Like Russell Wilson will dime all day long, but when he throws that pick, that shit is going to the house, and it is in that nigga's lap. It is the worst. It's like college shit, high school shit. Like it's like he didn't even see the motherfucker in front of him. But I love Russell Wilson. Shout out to Russell Wilson as a player. He's a cornball off the field, but
And he gave us that ring, so shout
and
out to
shout out to him.
Russ.
Yes, we got to send him a ring. You got to send him a ring.
That's the ultimate disrespect.
Yeah, you got to send him a ring. But yeah, I'm done. Like the Patriots, like we're 2-5 right now, and a lot of people want to point at like, oh, like I said, it's because of Tom. Nigga, that's not because of Tom. The division was getting better. It's COVID. It's all these fucking reasons. In Josh McDaniels, I am going to fight Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, you gonna do shit.
I'm gonna show this dude right here. 3rd down, 3rd and 10. He is going to run a play that starts off at the 15 yards behind. We're going to run a screen play. We're going to throw it back 5 yards, and then we're going to get you to 15, try and get you 20 yards. And you get stopped at fucking 2 yards ahead, and we lose yardage. That's Josh McDaniels' offense right now. Yeah. Yo, listen.
Should have kept Tom.
I don't even care.
Should have chilled a little bit, Bill.
Yeah. I
Should have toned it down a little bit.
I wish I cared. But I don't. Like I don't care about the NFL season. I really don't. I really don't even think that shit is gonna get finished. I think we're gonna get another shutdown. So, fuck it. Who cares? I'm done. But we want to get into parting shots. Just our.
And my only parting shot is vote, motherfuckers, vote, because your life literally fucking depends on it. And to be very specific, vote Donald Trump out of office.
Yes.
Vote Donald Trump out of office. I'd rather take my chances with Sleepy Joe and Cop Mala.
Sleepy Joe. See,
Sleepy
that's funny.
Joe.
That's funny.
That's
It's
why
like,
I want Trump to lose. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
The real reason I want Trump to lose is so I can laugh at all the great jokes. I just don't think it's appropriate for me to laugh at the amazing comedy content he produces because he's such a scary leader right now. I need him to lose so I can wear the red hat and be proud to do it. And be like, yeah, it's cool. I can wear this red hat that says "Make America Great Again," and people can chill. I want to rock the swag. God damn it!
No, I can't do it because even if he loses, another 4 years might be him brewing to run again in 2024.
But he
you
can't.
know what I mean?
You can't do that.
Yeah, he can. What do you mean?
You can't.
Yes, you can.
You can win the presidency, lose, then run again.
Absolutely, you can.
Get out of here.
Yes.
I thought once you lose that second time, you're done.
No.
Oh shit.
No. What?
I'll still rock the hat then because he might run again, but he'll lose.
You absolutely can.
He'll lose. Hey, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's why we have these conversations. Yeah, my parting shot is my parting shot is vote. I mean, most people already voted. Yo, let's just try and stay sane during all this shit and fuck the sneakers app. Fuck Nike. Fuck the sneakers app.
And now we're finally
that's my parting shot. Fuck it. It's a rigged system. It's unfair. It fucks with the culture. All the people that really want sneakers and shit like that, even general release shit that should be an easy cop, is always some fucking wild shit going on. Fuck the sneakers app. Defund the sneakers app. Abolish the sneakers app. That's it. I'm done.
Wow, abolish is a strong word, Jackie.
Yes, abolish
That's somebody's business right there, my friend. This
I don't
is
give
America.
a fuck. Nike got the dough. They got the dough. They got the money to fucking film Drake videos. They got the money to fuck that. They'll be straight. Defund the sneakers app. Straight up. But that's episode whatever the fuck. Go vote. Hopefully we win this shit. Peace.
Peace.